Here is everything you need to know about the second stimulus check, unemployment benefits, everything you need to know as of today, Monday, July 27th. It is late in the evening. I'm going to update you on everything, bring you up to speed from the past. If you are lost, if you don't even know what's been going on with all this stimulus news, this one video is meant to compact everything for you as quick and concisely as possible, with everything in regards to stimulus checks, which is direct payments to you, and unemployment benefits. Yes, there are many other things like PPP loans, EIDL grants, business owner student loans. I will touch on those very little, but I know what most people care about is that stimulus check and the unemployment benefits. Let's talk about the second stimulus check. I made a video a few days ago going over the confirmation of the second stimulus check. It has been confirmed. Some of you don't believe it. You comment that no, the second stimulus check is not confirmed. Yes, it is. The Democrats want it, the Republicans want it, and the president wants it. Even Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin announced there will be a second stimulus check for $1,200. That is old news. We know it's coming. The new question is, when will you receive it? I have a timeline of when to expect to receive it. I have updates on this new HEALS Act, which was brought by the Republicans. And to bring you up to speed very quickly, here's what's going on. Back in March, when this whole crazy stuff happened to the world, Congress got together very quickly and swiftly and said, let's bring out the CARES Act. Let's stimulate the economy and help everyone out. How are we going to do that? By giving everyone $1,200, giving everyone unemployment benefits an extra $600 a week, extending their unemployment benefits by 13 weeks longer than the usual state amounts, and helping out many small businesses with PPP loans and EIDL grants. There are so many videos out on everything that's happened, but to bring you up to speed so you know what happened, you should have gotten your first stimulus check by now. If you qualified for it, you should have gotten it. If you made under $75K a year, US resident, you should have gotten it. If you filed married jointly, $150K or less, you should have gotten it. Now, the second stimulus check, they are proposing the same exact thing as the first one with a few little tweaks, which I will go over right now. And before I dive into this whole thing, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. Drop me a like if you enjoy these straight to the point, no BS updates of things that are happening and not these crazy proposals of, oh, you put in my title, $5,000 a month, you can expect to receive this when it's all fairy talk and nothing that has been approved. I want to talk about stuff that's realistic, that's happening, what you can expect, the real stuff. Okay, so we know we got that first stimulus check. How does this happen? How are we going to get the second stimulus check? There are three things that need to happen. Number one, the House of Representatives, controlled by the Democrats, they need to approve it. The Senate Republicans, they need to approve it. And the president needs to sign and approve it. These three parties are the most important things to pay attention to. The House of Democrats, a couple months ago, proposed a bill which involved a second stimulus check for a lot more people. And it had a lot of other things in there, including that $600 a week unemployment benefits to be extended. And the Republicans from the Senate side said, nah, we're not going to approve this, dead on arrival, okay? And since then, it's been kind of quiet for a few months, just talks of proposals here and there, but the Republicans haven't come out with anything until today. Earlier today, Monday, July 27th, let's unpack what they are proposing. And this is great news because the Democrats propose something up here. The Republicans are coming down here. There's going to be some negotiation, but at least you know the high and the low, and you can expect somewhere in between. Expect the low, hope for the high, but we'll see what happens. And there's lots of great news because that stimulus check is confirmed. And even on unemployment benefits, there's good news for you too. What did the Republicans bring to the table that's different from the Democrats? A lot of things. The first thing is that second stimulus check, we all agree on to be the same with a few tweaks. The first tweak is everyone that's claimed as a dependent should get $500. So if you were a college student, you were 25 years old, your parents claimed you as a dependent, that first stimulus check, you got nothing, your parents got nothing. But maybe you had a sibling that was 13 years old. Your parents got $500 for that dependent. 17 and younger, each were worth $500 if they were claimed as dependents. Now, any age dependent, no matter what age you are, if someone claims you as a dependent, they're getting $500 off of you. So keep that in mind. That's the first update. The second update is the Senate passed the bill to stop debt collectors from garnishing your stimulus check, which means when you get your stimulus check, let's say you owed the bank money and you had debt, the bank can't take that money and pay off the debt and not give it to you. It's going straight to you, which is what it was meant for. If you owe the government taxes and you get the stimulus check, you're still getting the stimulus check in your hands before it goes to the taxes, so you don't need to worry about that either. If you're on Social Security, the same way you qualified for that first stimulus check, you will be receiving the second stimulus check the same exact way. So if you got that first check, you'll get it the same exact way for the second check. If you owe child support and you're back on your payments, guess what? Anything you owe on that child support the money's going there first. So if you owe more than $1,200 on child support, all of your check is going to child support before any gets to you. If you are in prison, there's no stimulus check for you. Now, as far as the speed of this being delivered to the people, Congress is saying it should be much faster than last time because they've done this before, the systems are in place, they already have your direct deposit information, so it should be much faster. I am saying it's probably getting to you by mid to late August. And the reason why is because by August 7th, this needs to be passed. And if you don't know, Congress took like a month-long vacation just recently, and they're about to go on vacation again August 7th until September 8th, a whole month. So before August 7th, they need to get something passed, which is why I think by mid to late August, you will get that check. Because if they don't get it passed by August 7th, that is ridiculous. They already made people wait months for the second stimulus check. They thought we were going to be in a V-shaped recovery. Everything will be normal. No, things are getting much worse. The cases are getting higher and higher every single day. We need more stimulus. So by August 7th, expect something to be passed. I think the probability is 99% because there's just no way they can let this go by without having anything be passed. As far as unemployment, for those of you collecting unemployment, your $600 a week ends in like 2 to 3 days. It's not staying at $600 a week. That is not in the proposal. What they are proposing is a $200 a week federal boost up until the end of September. So for the next 2 months, they have an end game for unemployment. The goal is to replace 70% of your previous wages, or up to 70%. If you made too much money, if you made $500,000 a year, then they're not going to give you 70% of $500K a year. They're going to give you up to $500 a week in federal boost on top of your state benefits to replace 70% of your wages. So without all these numbers, to make a really simple example, let's say you made $1,000 a week, $52K a year. The unemployment should be, if your state benefit is $200, the unemployment benefit from the federal government will be the max $500 cap, bringing you up to that $700 a week limit, which is 70% of your previous wages. If your state gives you $500 a week, the federal government will only add $200 to that to bring you up to $700. So for some of you, based on your previous wages, this $200 a week is actually better than 70%. But we'll see what happens. This looks like it's going to be very difficult for them to administer because they already had a huge problem just even getting out the first stimulus check. The more complicated something is, the longer it's usually going to take. The most realistic option that's going to come out of this is that $200 a week will probably just keep getting extended past September if they don't get this figured out by October. And also in this bill, if it gets passed later than when it should, if it's passed later than July 31st, which is probably going to happen, that $200 a week benefit will be retroactive. Meaning all the weeks you missed out on that extra $200 a week, you will be back paid on that. Now, as far as the unemployment benefits go as well, the Republicans are willing to compromise and bring it up as long as the Democrats can compromise on the stimulus check and maybe bring down who gets the stimulus check to lower that amount to bring up unemployment. This is all going to be in their negotiation and politics, but as of now, it's looking like $200 a week in unemployment and the full $1,200 check for the same people as last time. Okay, for business owners, even if you're not a business owner, I think you should pay attention to this. This is very important. This is something everyone should understand, especially if you own a business. You can capitalize on this, but if you don't own a business, this should convince you to open up your own business, which is not difficult at all. I can make an entire separate video just on this topic. So let's get into the benefits for business owners. Number one, basically a whole bunch of tax deductions and tax credits. There's a lot of tax deductions for meals, and it's going up from 50% to 100%. So instead of writing off half your meal like you can only do that now you can write the entire meal off, 100%. This is in this bill. There's deductions for protective equipment for your employees. If you're buying masks, hand sanitizers, whatever, cleaning equipment, you can deduct that on your taxes. There's worker retention tax credits, which is a huge benefit for employers, for businesses, not really for employees. They're incentivizing businesses to get their employees back to work and giving businesses more money for that, but the employee obviously is getting nothing. You're just going back to work. This is why I think it's so important for anyone living in the United States to have their own business. The tax code is written literally in your favor. Let me give you a very simple example. If you make $52K a year, you get $1,000 in every single week in a paycheck, right? When your paycheck comes home, you look at your paycheck. Why is it only $700? Because the government took 30% in taxes, just straight up bit off your check 30%. Gone. You only get $700. They don't even trust you with your own money. They withhold those taxes from you. And then at the end of the year, if you're lucky, they'll give you a little tax return. Here's a little piece of what we took from you. It's the opposite for business owners. If you own your own business, let's say you make $52,000 a year, same thing, but you are your own business, you get that full $1,000 in your pocket right away. You get to invest it, you get to build interest on it. And then at the end of the year, you tell Uncle Sam, here's how much I'm going to pay you. Hold on, I have expenses for food, for travel, I bought trucks for my company. Oh, looks like I wasn't really profitable. Guess what, Uncle Sam? I'm only giving you this much money, or I'm giving you zero because I wrote all of this off. That's the advantages of having a business. You get to keep more of your money. And you know why that's so important? The more money you keep, the more you can invest. The more you can invest, the more your money can grow, and it multiplies. Taxes slow you down so much when building wealth. This is very important. This is a super important concept to understand. If you want a full video on this, write down business owner, something in the comments below asking me to make a video just on this, because I think this is super important for people to understand. A lot of people think, oh, running a business, that's risky. I gotta open an LLC, I gotta run a corporation, I gotta get insurance, I'm taking all this risk on. Yes, you're taking risk, but as an employee, you're working for a business. If the business fails, you lose your job. Okay, I'm not gonna get too distracted on this. Let's stick to stimulus updates. Student loans. If you have student loans, there's two options for you. There's a 10-year mortgage-style repayment plan, and there's also an income-based repayment plan. If you have a federal undergraduate student loan, you can take 10% of your income after the poverty line, which is $19,140. Anything you make above that, 10% of it will go to paying your student loans for the next 20 years. But after 20 years, your student loan will be forgiven. So if you have a ridiculous undergrad student loan that you just can't handle paying off, you don't make enough money, you enroll in this plan, 10% of your income will go to paying it down. And if it's not completely paid off in 20 years, at least it will be forgiven. Now, if you have a federal student graduate loan for grad school, it's the same thing, but for 25 years. So, it's good news if you have a ridiculous amount of student loans. So take it for what it is. This is in the bill. This is a question that I get from a few of you still to this day, which I can't believe I see comments on this. I still haven't gotten my first stimulus check. If you still haven't gotten that first stimulus check, go to the IRS portal, go to the irs.gov, check with the portal what's going on with your check. There's a phone number on the IRS website. Give them a call. They want you to get your stimulus check, especially because elections are coming up. You are a voter in this country. They want you to get the stimulus check. They want you to be happy. So they'll be more than glad to help you. So make sure you call up the IRS, you go to the IRS portal, and you figure out what's going on. To conclude this video, with everything that's confirmed, with everything that we know, all of this still needs to be passed. At the end of the day, this needs to get signed by the president. Everyone needs to come to an agreement, and it needs to get passed into legislation. So from now till then, we're just waiting, and this is the news of what's going on. If you appreciated this update, please drop a like, as it lets me know to make more videos like this. It lets me know what you want to see. Share this with someone who's a business owner, has student loans, or is concerned about unemployment or the stimulus checks. Please share this video. It helps out the channel a lot. I appreciate every single one of you that like these videos, that comment below. Thank you so much. You are very appreciated. And until the next video, watch one of these two. Watch one of these two videos after this. Just click on any one of them, and I will see you in one of those videos. Peace.